The following podcast is an RMG Media production.
Welcome to the Renaissance Podcast, a podcast for Renaissance women
and men
who want to create a modern-day Renaissance in their life and business.
We interview some of the most successful entrepreneurs and share their unique stories.
Are you ready to create your Renaissance? So we're rolling on the podcast.
Oh, yay.
And Carol, just to fill everyone in, she came in kind of going, I don't know if you want to talk about your situation, but I think I think the people will want to know because our listeners are entrepreneurs, business owners. They want to know the real. And there's no one more real than Carol from Beaut here. And you were saying your office / warehouse / everything is going up $2,000 a month in rent.
Yes. $2,000 a month in rent.
Which we were just laughing because, y'all, we're not on Broadway over here.
No.
We're not in Midtown. We're not in the Gulch.
No, we're in the back of the zoo, honey. Okay, but
we're in the janitorial closet of Nashville.
That's a great way to say that. But you know what? It's fine. And it's peaceful. It's great. And, you know, a lot of those
accessible.
Things. Right. And it's just hard. That's what happens in business. And we found this space as a sublease and we thought, you know what, we need it right now. We had gotten ourselves into because at first I was telling Sydney, I was shipping out of storage units when I moved to Nashville. So we rented, at first it was one, then we kept growing and I needed more products. So then we had 3 on the main level, 1 upstairs, and we would load our car and fill it with all the product every single day and ship it out to UPS Post. But, then for a few months, we tried out what do you call that? Like a second party,
like a
logistics, company, and fulfillment center.
Yeah.
And they shipped it out. They shipped out product for us, but there were so many problems. I was like, I can't have our brand, associated with all these issues, wrong shipments, wrong items.
Making you look bad. When it's
made
not
us look
you.
bad. So we took this opportunity with the sublease and thinking that we'd extend it, and then they hit us with the new fee. And I said, we don't need that much space and we don't want to spend that much money. So we're back to the drawing board. And then you came in,
and
honey,
I'm
like a knight in shining armor.
Come on over here. Yeah. I mean, and we were just talking, Fabi and I, shout out Fabi Powell, on the show, and how she's like, it's kind of an up and coming area, but it hasn't been, but we have the new bagel place over here, which is also really good. And they went viral. So,
you've talked
Creed Hall Bagel Co. We need to all have a date.
Let's have a breakfast bagel date before
all
work.
into it.
We could have a little networking moment. I mean, it can be work.
Creed Hall Sisters.
Yes, Creed Hall Sisters. I liked that.
There probably would have been something else I could have said, but
I liked it.
Okay. Well,
so we'll see.
I love just that happened because I wanted to share. We talk all the ins and outs of entrepreneurship in this show, and that is totally a huge part of it. It's just the logistics, and there are certain things that you can't prevent happen in your business. So you can just be doing your thing, you guys are, and then all of a sudden you get hit with something like this, which can, for a lot of people, break them financially. Completely derail them.
Yeah.
And, it's just part of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but to me, that is literally business from the second you say, I want to have a business, till every single day as you're working through it. You have to definitely be able to take on scary things, like something that feels shocking to you, like, oh no, how am I going to do this? I tell a friend that's not an entrepreneur and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Aren't you freaking out? I'd be freaking out. And I'm like, no, this is little compared to some of the stuff I've dealt with. So, but it's all like every single little thing like that happens. It's just more items in your tool belt, more tools in your tool belt, and then you're stronger and smarter the next ride. So I love to roll with it. I'm like, if this is not going to be meant for us, it's not. And I'm going to learn a better space, a better place, more connections. You just never know. So it's exciting. It's probably a great thing that we're getting kicked out, because I'm going to find something even better.
It's some sort of lesson. There's some sort of reason for why this is happening, and it's going to just turn you guys to a different place. And I love that.
Totally.
And I love that perspective. Have you always been that way? Like, have you, your whole life?
That's a great question, because honestly, I was reflecting on this the other day and I thought about how much being an entrepreneur has helped me with that. Because before I would get something would come up and I'd get so nervous, like, oh no, I'm panicked. I don't know how to handle this. And then once everything is kind of on you, as an entrepreneur, you feel like, okay, I need to just sit back and I need to think about this because it's going to do me no good to panic, to freak out. You have to come with a solution. There's no one that you're going to go to for them to do it for you. And so I think that was always, it was such a scapegoat. Like before an entrepreneur, I was an executive assistant. And what would I do? I'd go to the lead executive assistant or my boss and say, this isn't working, and they'd push back on me to go find a solution. But now that I'm, an entrepreneur, and there was a good period where I didn't have any employees, it was just me rocking. So I learned how to kind of figure things out and roll with it, because it's happened a lot, especially through the pandemic when we had all those changes in my business, changes in shipping, changes in how I was going to make sales. And it just taught me so much.
Don't you think the humble beginnings are like the best thing in terms of just your gratitude as you go? Because
oh my gosh, yeah.
I know you have people ask you all the time, like, how did you get here? And how did you go from here to here? And now you're here, and that's so incredible. And I mean, but you said to me earlier before we were rolling, you're like, I mean, I tell people all the time, it wasn't always this way. And I had a lot of adversity to get. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I was just, when you said that, the first thing that came to my head was in the pandemic, when I first started Beaut, I was living and working out of my 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago. I started off doing hair and makeup and beauty and women's shows, where you'd set up a booth and you'd get the opportunity to sell to some women. You got a couple days, and basically I was just whitening their teeth. And then I would sell them like 1 or 2 products to take home. When the pandemic hit, everything stopped for me. So that meant all my shows were canceled. The day that hit, I was actually, like when they shut the whole city down, I was in New York getting ready to do a beauty show. And I had just set up my booth. I'm talking, flew my team in, like 3 girls. We had the whole booth set up. And then they get on the intercom and said, "Governor's shutting it down," So, I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And that was like that first step of, okay, really figuring things out. I got flights for the girls. I couldn't get on a flight, so I rented a car, drove back to Chicago, and that's where I went to the drawing board and I said, okay, I don't have any more shows, which means I don't have any more income, and how am I going to sell Beaut? What am I going to do? So I met this gentleman who worked in the fashion industry, like the boutique industry. He was basically like a resource to boutiques. He'd help them bring like brands in that they should sell, right? And he had called me literally a week later as I'm sitting at home trying to figure out, what am I going to do? How am I going to, sell Beaut? How am I going to make money, pay my bills? And he was like, our boutiques want a product like yours. He's like, they need more self-care right now with the pandemic hitting. Live selling, which I had never heard of, he said was growing. And he's like, your personality, your products, I think would be amazing. So later that day, he said, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're signing up for this Boutique Hub membership, and you're going to go live on our Facebook group, and you're going to tell these women about your product, and you're going to tell them if they want to buy one, they can buy 1 sample at wholesale price to try. And I did that. It was scary. I had never done that before, never recorded myself. I've always been nervous to talk on camera. And I had 150 boutiques, 150 women that wanted to try Beaut that day. And I'm in my 1-bedroom apartment, just like handwriting orders, like,
So that was B2B. That was just to other boutique owners.
Yeah, that was my first test with that too. So I hadn't really done retail or business to business, because I was really only selling at these trade shows. I'd sell a product and, a service at the show, and that was it. So that was really the start of this whole new journey of Beaut, to where now we're in over 1,000 boutiques across the U.S., Macy's, Altered State, BoxyCharm, Ipsy. It's wild. It's so wild. And we just continue to grow, and we continue to do new things. So obviously I left Chicago, and I left Chicago during the pandemic, and I said, I want to live in Nashville. I think Nashville's going to be where God wants me. So I moved out here, and I got an Airbnb, and I rented it for 3 months. I shipped out of that Airbnb, and then once I found a home, I said, okay, I need to get a storage units. I got some storage units, and that's where we started shipping out of. So I kept just trying to roll with it. Basically, like my whole life, my whole story is teaching people how to roll with it. And it's taught me a lot. So,
man, that's wild. And I've just watched you guys just absolutely dominate. I mean, you can't
Thank
get on
you.
TikTok. I feel like being in your 20s, 30s at all without seeing Beaut somewhere. Like you
I
guys
love
are
that.
all over TikTok. Was social media like a big kind of player in all of this? Or would you say it was like those early on B2B connections you were making that catapulted everything?
Yeah, I would say there was a couple things. So in regards to like really how Beaut started getting big was have you heard of BoxyCharm, the beauty subscription? They're now called Ipsy.
Oh, yeah.
So my first big deal ever. So at the most that I had ever, brought in product-wise manufactured would be like 1,000 units of something. I brought in, they asked me, they said, I want you in the fall box. So that was 60,000 units of product. And I'm going to get to your question, but I just want to share this little background of it is that, so in the pandemic, that 60,000 units that they ordered, it was of our number one seller now called the Brightening Bubbles. And with all those things that happened during the pandemic, needing the supply chain of certain products, like needing pumper bottles for hand sanitizer, it's a similar kind that you would use for the Brightening Bubbles when you're pumping a product. So that product that was ordered, 60,000 units, instead of putting it on a boat like I normally would, I had to get it here in time, so we flew it. Well, when it arrived to our customer, it was wet. The boxes, the outer, all of the pallets were wet, and it was because they popped, they broke. So that was a wild thing, but to lead into that, we still had a 250,000 piece order of a product that we were going to be launching with them and was going to be a huge social media push for us. So we had issues with that too, where the FDA asked us to put these little made in China stickers on every single unit. So we had 48 hours to put made in China sticker units on 250,000 units. But it was wild, but it paid off. And that kit actually, so all that hardship to get to this kit got into the hands of Kylie Jenner. Yes, I know. The day I saw it, Sydney, I was like, people were texting me, they go, is that your product? Is that Beaut in Kylie's hands? And I was like, oh my gosh, it is. They sent me the video and I saw it and I was like, wow. So it wasn't even, and here's the thing that I want to remind like business entrepreneurs about is it's not, I didn't put that in, Kylie didn't get it in her hands and then I sold 1 million kits. It wasn't like they all went to my website and bought a kit. That's not typically what happens with a big influencer like her. It's people that see that, then they want to work with you. So the amount of boutiques that wanted to carry Beaut after that was insane. The amount of people knocking at my door, wanting to work with us, just because they saw that, right? And it was like, oh, finally, because Beaut is so amazing and I know people are going to love these products. And it took them to see, oh, this is cool, But it wasn't that immediate sale. It was the PR. It was that push that did, the marketing, which you know all about. So that's always a huge thing because people always ask me, oh, gosh, did you do with Kylie? Did you make 1 million sales? I was like, no, ma'am, but I made 1 million connections and 1 million impressions, and that they'll remember that forever. Boutiques that still see me 2 years later, they go, oh, this is Carol. She has this amazing product. Kylie has her product, And even though that wasn't a big, it was cool, but it wasn't.
It's that credibility.
Yes, it's the credibility.
It's the name. It's the biggest name in beauty for this time we're in and will be for a while. And that right there is just, totally I can see younger entrepreneurs earlier in their seasons being like, well, that's a unicorn situation, but that takes quality product. That takes quality branding.
Yep.
That takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to that point. And
totally.
So, I just think that that's absolutely incredible. And yeah, you'll be able to use that forever. Well, so with the branding though, because I'm a branding geek nerd.
Yes,
love.
Me too.
And it's stunning. Your website's stunning.
Thank
Social.
you.
The everything. It's all here if you're watching on YouTube. It's just so well done. It's so pink. I want everything just because of how it looks. Were you was that a big, when you went to build the brand, was that a big thing for you where you were like, this has to be iconic. This has to be something that would look cute on a vanity or cute in the bathroom?
Totally.
Yeah.
So I'm very visual. It's one of my big, it's like a positive and something that, will leave me like struggling to get it right for a long time. Like my house,
You sit on it.
the way things look, I feel like I'm more at peace or more creative or happier, right? All those things when I see things that look aesthetically pleasing in my eyes. So when I first started Beaut, I went with the color palette of like yellow and white and gray. But I had like one pink product and one blue product. And then people, they gravitated towards those. They loved those. So I kept crafting the brand more towards what customers wanted. But every little single thing that I do, like I have a marketing girl that she's been by my side since the Chicago days. I hired her in the pandemic and she was super young, out of college, but she understood my vision and she understood, like when I say to her, hey, I think it'd look really pretty if we did this. I get it. I totally know what you mean. Let's do it. And so the way that we can work together, and that's the thing too, it's like, I'm not a graphic designer. I just have a vision, right? And so it's getting people on your team too. It's like, I don't want everyone to be just like me. My team, I want to be at whatever they're doing. I want them to be better at me at it. Like
1000%.
I want my marketing girl to be way better at that than me. But I want her to also love to work together and to, be a team on it. Like I don't want her to be, you don't want someone that's like a know-it-all. You want someone that's like, that gets it, but is better than you. You know what I mean? I don't know how to really say that, but just same with every single person on my team. But the branding is something that I just am so passionate about. And
Stunning.
I just love, once you make something and you see it physically there, it's one of the best feelings ever.
Well, like what did you think when you first saw it at Macy's? I mean, good Lord, that is so insane.
I know when we saw it for the first time on Macy's.com, I could not believe it. I was like, God, that product looks good there. Like it looks
fits.
like it fits. And it's one of those pinch me moments a lot, I think, is that I forget. I'm like, wow, Beaut is sold at Macy's. They're good enough,
Yeah.
And I really, when I started this business, I really was just, it was a side hustle, really. I was a full-time executive assistant at a firm and taking care of other people in their dreams, right? And I really didn't know mine. And I just started this on the side to make some extra money. I was like, I had done some teeth whitening with my sister back in the day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a teeth whitening product. I'm just going to start whitening people's teeth. So I'd make the kits and I'd whiten people's teeth at these events, and it just kept evolving, and I didn't know how to stop it. And it turned into, we're not just teeth whitening anymore. We're a full self-care brand. And we create these products that customers love and that make them feel confident and happy and beautiful and just, and they feel elevated. They feel like they're having a spa treatment, but at their house, and they feel part of something. They feel part of my community because they see me on live and it's part of the brand, they're a Beaut babe. Mm-hmm. And it's wild to me and excites me every single day. I think that's what excites me the most, to wake up and work and keep doing Beaut, is how belonged all these women feel. It makes me so happy.
Oh my God. I love just your light and your energy. And what I'm getting from it is similar, I feel like, to me, which is just passion, but I call obsession.
Obsession.
And I feel like you have
passion is obsession, right?
Something
kind of
there in terms of admiration. But I think you do have to be obsessed with it. Because it's the only way through. And I know you get asked all the time, well, how do you get through these hard seasons? And when, people are worried about the economy and they're losing business and they're losing clients, and that's part of it. But I always say to them, I'm like, man, I'm just so obsessed with the journey.
Yes, girl.
I
don't even think, when people tell this stuff to me, and I had to kind of train my boyfriend on his thinking with this. He would come with me, well, what do you think about this? Or have you thought about that? Are you worried about this? I go, honestly, I don't. And I think to be successful, you have to block out all of those things that are happening. And I just keep doing me and doing my best. And yes, if there's something that I need to roll with, I need to roll with it. But I don't focus on that. I focus on what I'm doing and how I'm going to grow this brand and continue to serve people and bring them products that bring them joy and bring them, when I go live, I'm like, if I've had a bad day, I want to bring this person joy. That's my goal today. So I just I never think about the economy, and all that stuff. Because honestly, when those things happened, when the economy was bad, is when I pushed the hardest and grew my brand to the next level. And I think it's the mindset, right? Like, so you could either be scared and say, oh, well, I can't grow Beaut. I can't grow my brand. I can't go for my dreams or my goals or my passions right now because of this situation. Now, I think that if you really want something, you're going to have to block all that out, and voices too that tell you that you can't do it or make you feel not adequate or not equal. And almost like I felt like I isolated for a while. I kind of isolated for a while to focus on me, my passion, my business, and it was just the best thing I could do to not focus on the other outside world.
To have that disconnect. You have to disconnect the hard things because they're going to happen no matter what.
Yep.
And that's what I love what you said about like the pandemic. Instead of letting it completely derail you, you let it motivate you.
Yep.
And it because of that drove you to where you are today. And like that's
now I have my dream life and job. People told me, they said, oh, what are you going to do? You should just go back and be an assistant. You should just go, call your boss, get your job back. I said, what? Are you serious? Is this really the advice you're giving me? And it didn't feel right. So that's why that was one of those moments that I said to myself, I've got to stop just listening to people's advice. And I have to really think hard and go inside of me and figure out what is going to be best for me, And I knew I just had it in me, like in my gut. I was like, Beaut is going to be special. And it is special. And I know that it's going to grow and be something that's going to touch so many lives. I cannot stop now. I was like, there's no way.
Well, and I love that we just had the gal from your team,
Libby in
She's
here. She's incredible.
And just the way that she was sitting there looking at you, and I could just tell you're a great leader too.
Oh,
and
thank you.
She's really excited about the journey too. And like, that to me is, I think that that's another beautiful piece to this whole crazy journey that we're on, is getting to bring people in to come on the journey with you for you to give them a great experience, because maybe you were in a job before where you weren't an entrepreneur and you didn't have a great experience looking up to somebody else. And so you're then getting to like send the elevator back down a little bit and be like, I want to give you, and like, hey, we're doing this together. And it's not just me, because I can't do this without you.
Can't.
And you seem very, just like culture's a big part of what you guys do too.
Honestly, it's huge. And I my heart is so warm that you saw that, because the girls that work with me, I don't say four. The girls that work with me are the biggest blessing in my life, because they see the vision, they see the dream, and I'm like, some of these girls, I'm like, wow, she could be working at, Mac, like corporate office, but they want to work for Beaut. They want to work for this brand and part of this world. And it's so exciting to me. And being able to help these girls too, it's like, they help me, I help them. It's an exchange, the entire relationship. It's like we're helping each other, because and seeing them grow is so exciting to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, think about where we started. The girl that in my marketing, we improve our packaging all the time. Like there'll be like little changes to it that somebody might not know, but I know make a huge difference. And we will look at the product from 3 years ago to now, and we're like, wow, look at this, or wow, look at our website from when we first started, which we thought was great. And it's still great to probably anybody's eye, but we look at it now and we're like, awesome, we did that together. We grew so much that we've created something that would have cost somebody $100,000 to build, but me and you did that, So it feels really exciting. And every single person's role is so important. And I always remind them that, like, from anything that happens, I'm like, with Libby, when she'll do a task that she thinks is so small and I tell her thank you, she's like, oh, that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm like, no, that's a huge deal. Like, you just coming over here. I texted Libby while you and I were talking, in the middle of us talking, hey, Libby, can you bring over a few teeth whitening kits? I want Sydney and her girls to try it. Boom. She was here in 2 minutes.
2 seconds, she was here.
She was here. And I'm like, that means so much, because she cares and she's excited and she wants you to get this product too. She wants you to try this out for yourself, and she wants you to go, because she knows how you're going to feel during it, after it, all of it,
I love this conversation, because it just takes, and that's why I love this community, because it just takes such a certain breed of a person who understands this crazy journey of wanting to create your future, and for it to be defined your own definition of success, your own definition of happiness and what that looks like. And it takes a village to make it happen. And, your industry, especially, every little touch point is so important and can make or break the experience of the person. Same in all worlds.
Yes, absolutely.
It's everything. And that's what the best brands do, is they really are intentional about every little thing. And I'm just like so proud of you, so in awe of you. And
Thank you, Cindy.
I love your energy, and it's my energy. So
I know.
just feel like
we are best friends.
Creve Hall sisters.
Yes, Creve Hall sisters.
Well, so I guess tell me a little bit about like what you guys are working on now. What is like your biggest goal you're working on now? What are maybe some areas that you guys are struggling in now that you could share with our audience? Challenges we're currently going through other than your rent issue, which we're figuring out.
Oh my goodness. Well, honestly, I mean, some struggles too. And it's like they happen every day. So it's almost like when you said I'm like, what do I tell her? There's like a million things that I could teach and coach, and I have to learn myself. But I mean, with TikTok Shop. So a big part of our business, Cindy, is we do live sales. So we work with boutiques that will have anywhere from 10 to 5,000 people watching them live on their shopping app. Shopping with them at a time. So I work with a lot of these boutiques where I will go on their page and I'll go live with them and they'll sell the product. So that's a huge part of our business. And it's so fun because we get to connect with so many people, real life, real time. They talk to us, interact, and we get to shop. We get to answer questions. We get to build a community. So when you were talking about my team, it's crazy because these women, they will come on our live sale and say, oh my goodness, is Libby there with you right now? She helped me with a customer service email and she's amazing. Oh my gosh, she made it so easy and made me feel so loved. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're coming on to tell me about a customer service experience? And I'm like, and Libby, if you don't think it's a big deal, that job, that part of your role that you have, a customer service, I'm like, she gets reminded. I'm like, Libby, did you hear that? Go watch that replay. But yeah, that's a huge part of our business. But one of the things that we're dealing with now is with TikTok Shop. There's all the boutiques that sell our products, and same with us. There's products that TikTok isn't approving for us to sell. And then creators of ours, they're not approving the creator to start selling right away too. So, but it's figuring out how to roll with it and learning. And I'm like, wow, the stuff that I'm learning through this process of getting certain products approved is helping improve my business. And that's typically what happens is when somebody throws an obstacle at you, I'm like, I get a little bit excited, honestly, because I go, wow, what am I about to learn? I'm going to be so smart on this topic after this.
Well, and TikTok is new. Everything's new.
New.
Nobody's had this experience in the last couple of years.
You're not going on a YouTube video asking how to do this on, so it's a new thing that you roll with. Learn as you go. Right? And I think that's pretty much is what's going to happen the rest of our future as entrepreneurs in this world starting now at 2023 is that every single thing I've done in my business, it's new almost every 6 months to a year. The way that I'm selling, how I'm selling it, how I'm creating things, all of it. And so to me, it's like, I'm excited because I think that it keeps challenging you and it keeps growing you and it keeps making the business fun and fresh. And yeah, the challenges are what makes, to me, the business honestly get better and me be better as a person. And as I get better as a person, Beaut gets better. It's just a pure reflection of me growing.
Yeah. There's like a direct correlation between like personal growth and how your business grows and the mindset you have over your business and then how it evolves from there. I mean, I remember like last year I was in such a scarcity mindset, such an anxious person. I realized that I think that was postpartum anxiety, but when I was in it, I didn't know that that's what it was.
You never know while you're in it.
And it felt like my castle was crumbling last year. And then this year we've had our best year we've ever had. September was our best month we've ever had in almost 10 years. But it's crazy because I look back and I'm like, I have done so much mental work on myself. And I think that that's why.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your mind has to be right as the CEO.
100%.
You have to invest in it and you have to work on it and take that time. I'd love for you to speak on that.
I just love you so much right now. And I literally experienced that this week for me and my team. I mean, just an example, like it was 2 days ago. We were in the office and we were just tired. We had a big, big week last week. We were in 30A. We had 30 boutiques across the US. We had live sales every hour on the hour. It was awesome, and events at night. And we prepared for that. So we were prepared for weeks before that, plus doing all of our other work. So we felt a little, I don't like the word burnout, but we did. We felt a little tired. We felt a little burnout. And I said, you know what? We're not going to get productive work done today. We're not. So yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I don't care that we just got here a couple hours ago. I'm like, what do you want to do today? I'm like, and I asked Libby, she's like, well, there was this thing at 1 o'clock with my friends. And I said, well, you're going to it and I'm going to get a massage. Okay. And I said, if you want a massage, you go get one too after work. Okay. On me. Like that's how I play it. And I'm like, cause then I know that next day, today, when we came into the office, we were refreshed. We were excited. We were energized, and when you are feeling down, you have to take care of that, because then you're going to be poisonous to your team, poisonous to your customers, whoever you interact with that day, the guy at the gas station, the coffee girl, and you're just going to spread that energy. So to me, when I've learned really to not force myself anymore or my team, I check in with myself, check in with them. How are you feeling? What is going on? If there's something going on in your personal life, if you don't want to talk to me about it, fine, but tell me that you need a minute. Tell me you need the afternoon off, and I'm going to understand, because I don't want you to have to put negative energy into your work and taint your creations, taint what you love doing. So for me, it's like, it's that thing of not feeling guilty. I don't care if another entrepreneur friend of mine thinks that I'm lazy because I went and got a massage this afternoon, and
that's better for your business.
It's better for your business. I'm like, that's a write-off right there, honey, because that helped me be a better entrepreneur the next day.
It's personal development for your business. It's like you are your business.
Just like coaching.
You are Beaut.
Yeah.
A massage is coaching. It's the same.
Yeah. Pretty much like a coaching session.
It makes sense in my mind.
Yeah.
The maths over here. Well,
yes.
I love that too. And I think that you're similar to me in that you employ a lot of young women in their early 20s. And I think that
I do.
That same, everyone.
Yeah.
And that is can be, I know for everybody, but that can be a really challenging time in your life. I mean, my early 20s sucked so bad.
I know.
Awful.
And you're
so
you're nonstop trying to figure out who you are, and then you're also trying to work and do a good job on that.
Friends, date, do the whole nine. It's really hard.
It's hard.
And we do the same thing. We mental health day is on Tuesday and we're closed.
Oh, you're awesome. That's cool.
Should we be open? Are we in our busiest season of the year? Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%. But my team can't operate 100% if they're burnout.
They're not 100%.
And not one day is going to just make it magical. But I told everyone on Monday, I was like, you guys need to seriously just turn off the phone.
Yeah.
Put an out of office, go do something, because we're about to be in the holidays. I know you are probably can't even imagine. I'll come be a volunteer and help you pack orders, because I know you're going to need help.
She's just going to come volunteer. Honey, we need it. We do have people that come and they're like, oh, I just want to come help. I'm like, what?
I can't wait to come see it. I want to come see the operation. It's just got to be
Libby today, she had her friends. She told me the night before, she goes, well, we really need help packing bundles. She's like, my friends said they'd come again today. I'm like, what do you mean they're going to come? They just want to help us. It's incredible.
Something sounds so relaxing about just doing that.
It kind of is. So sometimes when you're behind the desk and you're behind the counter, I'm like, what? I need to go, let me go pack some orders or go through some stuff, you know? And it's one of those almost your mind gets relaxed because you're in the zone. You can't get out of it. You're just in this awesome zone of packing orders. It's fun.
Okay. So I want to go back to TikTok because I feel like the audience is going to be we need to go back to that. And we have such a marketing centered audience too. But
please.
TikTok we love it, we hate it, right?
Right.
I mean, I have a love-hate with it, which I know it sounds...
I love watching them.
I love watching them, but I think because it is kind of the Wild West. And then we have this new shopping feature, which is gnarly, which is really working.
Cool.
Super cool. But not all businesses can have it, right? Isn't there
Yeah. So right now, with it being so fresh and new, not every business is going to get approved. Not every creator. So if you're a big influencer and you have a TikTok, say you have millions of followers, some of them are not getting approved to have their shop. Do I know why? No.
They just have their rules.
And it's so hard to say too, so one of the videos that I think you saw that went completely viral, it wasn't even one of our typical videos that I would tell a creator to create and hey, make this video. We want to generate a ton of sales from it. We want a ton of people to see it. It was a very casual. She just it was a boutique that sells our product. They had just got a stock of like 500 kits in, right? Because they sell a ton of our product. And she was like, you know what? I want to make a video. I want to put this on TikTok today. And she literally walked in her warehouse, showed the product inside of a big box, came back, went to her back office in the warehouse, not even her like desk office, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not even a cute in there. And she just opened it up and she was like, guys, I'm sweaty. This is my good old kit. There's probably saliva on here. Like, but this is what it does. It's amazing. Like people always ask me because, she was responding to a comment. That was the TikTok, when you respond to the comment of a question saying, how do you get your teeth so white? And it was just her being casual, being natural with people. And for me, I've found that those videos, whether they're doing it in that way, right, showing them it at the warehouse, or they're sitting at their counter showing them how they're going to whiten their teeth and they've got their Zit cream on and their crusty eyes and they're just casual. They just turn the camera on, tell people. Right now, those to me are the best performing videos, the best performing ads. Everything is when someone is just raw and real and you're experiencing it as if you're there with them and that's your friend telling you in the bathroom, how do you get your teeth so white? How is your skin so beautiful and glowy and shiny? Here, let me show you my Halo Clean. This is what I do in the morning. This is how I keep my skin youthful and glowing. It's literally just those casual kind of videos that have been the biggest success for me. Like when we try something more fancy, we're like, oh, do a video like this, and we edit it a ton. And honestly, those look beautiful for me and I still enjoy seeing them, but it's not what is grabbing the people and making them feel something. So it's like you've got to make people feel something and they want to feel very real about it. They don't want to be sold. They don't want you to tell them, guys, buy this today. It's $49.99. They don't want that old school infomercial anymore. They want, hey girl, everybody keeps asking me what I am doing. Let me just show you, okay? Like just super raw, super real, and people love it. I love it. And it reminds me when I see a video like that go viral, I go, okay, I love that too. That's what I consume. That's what I bought this shirt, or tried out the castor oil, I mean.
This is such a great point that you just brought up because this is what we talk about within these walls all the time because the consumer has never been smarter.
Yes.
Ever in history.
They see a lot of things. They learn a lot of things.
We're consumers. We're just consuming all day. So
all day long.
In your ideal consumer, young woman, whatever age, I'm sure you reach every age of a woman and men. But, they are just basically now they're from the womb. They have an iPad. They're watching YouTube. They just understand what's selling, what's not. And one word that we say is the biggest no-no word in the Renaissance agency is the word today. If you end a caption with the word today, you might get a demerit. If you say, stop in today, like it is like such a no-no because it's a turnoff.
Yeah.
It is the biggest turnoff to any consumer ever. Don't sell to people.
Right.
Is that like a big part of the marketing strategy? Like I'd love to know your social media marketing strategy for Beaut.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I encompass it with like, it's both for our B2B side and our retail side, and it's different. So our B2B side, when we're selling with boutiques, it's, well, how do I say this? So I think I've shared with you a little bit how when I go on, I'll be a guest on other people's live sales, right? And that's kind of one of my big personalities where we've grown a lot on our retail side too, is from me being on these other boutiques pages that have thousands of followers. They give me this opportunity to come sell Beaut to them. So when I'm on that live, I'm kind of, I do create a little bit of urgency because they're shopping right then and there. It's very QVC style, right? But that's not the same way that I talk when I'm doing an educational TikTok or reel. I wouldn't talk like that. I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. We're hooking you up. Buy one, get one free today, because they're literally shopping. They're like clicking it and putting it in their cart. It's, we're at the store together. But first, before I even tell them the deal and how great the deal is, I sit there and I tell them, hey, you guys want to know how to get your teeth so white? Like you want to know how to remove your, hey, let me show you. And we do a demonstration on someone so they can see visually this works. Carol's not full of it. Like Beaut really works. And I want people to see a difference. Like inside of here, there's a shade guide. So it shows a yellow tooth, like a number 15 all the way to a number 1, a white tooth. And we put it inside of every single teeth whitening box because we are very confident that you're going to take that guide, you're going to put it up to your tooth, you're going to see it at one color, and then in 15 minutes when you're done whitening, you're going to see another color. So for me, our marketing, like we love to show you that it works. That's been a big thing for us. And that's kind of our strategy right now is we want to not just make the fun videos. Like last Christmas when we were doing our videos, our marketing, our advertising, we were doing a lot of the like cool dances and hey, that were viral on TikTok. And for me now, that just feels wrong. It feels like outdated. Well, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, here's our marketing girl, when we send out to the team, here's the videos I want you to create this week. It's, hey, I want you to show them your skincare routine. Show them the other products that you use too. I don't care. Like I want them to know what you do. Hey, when you put your makeup on, will you do a video and show them how you put our golden hour serum in your foundation? Because that's a hack. That's a tip the girls would love to know.
Brilliant.
Yes.
That's so smart.
It's like those little secret things we do with our stuff.
Well, and it's your marketing girl's so smart because we say this a lot too, is it's social listening. It's what is working, what is not working. And I'm sure you're doing this all the time. When you're scrolling TikTok, you're actually working because you're taking notes of what's trending, what's going viral, what is happening. And like you said, the dancing videos, no one's doing that anymore. No. That was a moment, it was a moment, and it passed. And so if you're a marketer, if you're a small business owner, if you're a content creator, you have to know what's working right now and what your competitors are doing. I mean, it's huge.
Totally.
Anyone in your industry, what is going viral and why, and what can we learn from that?
And I always tell, when people ask me like for advice on things, like especially with that, I'm like, well, they don't really care as much about, you having this fancy photo shoot. They're going to also just love you taking a casual picture of you and your earrings, that you're trying to sell. Like, and they see you because they know you and they like you. I'm like, just the more real you can be, the better. And that was a huge thing in my business that, in meeting with you, like the way you're pretty, you have this like fun, casual energy about you too. So it made me be like, okay, it's okay to be that way with her.
We can be goofy.
We can be goofy because that's just me and there were times like before I was an entrepreneur that I would hide that side of me because I thought, I'm in a corporate setting. I work for corporate America in San Francisco and Chicago. Like I need to have a certain personality when I do that. And it was like, I'm hiding part of me. I'm like, when I'm myself, and that's what's made my business so successful is me being 100% myself. So the authentic person you're seeing now, if I'm that same way on my marketing material, my videos, and letting them see things raw and real, they're going to trust me more. They're going to like me as their friend. They're going to want to hang out with me. And that's my goal. I want customers to be my friend, like me, like understand me. And I don't want them to think that I'm ever pulling wool over their eyes. So, being authentic and giving them things like this.
I am obsessed.
Make you go, okay, that works.
I'm going to use this tonight. I'm going to text you.
Yes.
Well, and I feel like that's why influencer marketing, everyone's like, why is that work? Why is that like the end all be all? And it's not so much the influencer. It's that people trust people.
Yes.
People buy from people. And if you are a founder, it's time to step into that. It's time to be the face, and you've done that. I mean, someone has to be the face of your brand.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean there has to be this expensive spokesperson, this celebrity. No. It can literally be you.
Yeah. And that's what people want these days. They don't want the spokesperson. Like, I wouldn't hire Kylie to be the face of Beaut. No, I'm the face of Beaut, The other girls that are on my team, my teammates, those girls are the face of Beaut, and women love us. And, there's some, it's like, they can almost relate. They can relate to each one of the girls on the team about something, and I love that I get to do that. I love that there's girls that will look like me, like be my size or my age, and they feel just as beautiful. And it just makes me so, and they'll send me messages. Oh, Carol, gosh, thank you so much for, like being on camera and being the face, because I love seeing that. I don't get to see a girl like you or, a girl like me is really what she means, And And so that's super exciting to me. It's the more real you can be, the better. It's like I sell skincare, but you know what? I still get a zit once in a while. I'm a woman. I'm a human. And am I going to not go live that day because I got a zit? I say, hey, yeah, my products work, but guess what? I'm a human. Things happen. So here's my zit.
It's literally people like you that are making the internet a better place to be. Like it's people, I just think that there's been so much positive work done in your industry, in our world. Obviously, there's still a lot of horrible, horrible people that are writing comments and things like that. But it's the people like Carol that are stepping out and that are like, this is the real. This is me without makeup. This is me, whatever. This is me in the warehouse. Like the real life stuff. We all need to be reminded is really what's happening. Because there was a moment there, I feel like in social media a few years ago where no one thought that real stuff was happening and that everyone was just in Italy all the time.
I know. And everything was just too picture perfect, remember?
Yes.
And it was just like, oh my gosh, that's like so frustrating.
2017, 18, 19, I feel like on Instagram was just the highlight reel.
Yep. And the highest airbrushing that we could use and the highest, it was just like, what is going on?
What was that app? The one where you could like make yourself look completely
with the makeup on?
Different. I don't even know the name of it. But I just remember hearing about that and I was like, oh wow, that's wild. But like,
oh, I know.
Like you are your biggest superpower.
Yeah.
That is what people need to understand.
Love that. 100%.
Like, when you fully step into you, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
We've had them. You've had them. I've had them.
Yes.
But then you attract people that are meant to be for you and that are cheering you on because you're in your you. And that is just literally the most truthful thing I can ever say on this show.
It honestly is. And it's one of my favorite things. I literally want to take that clip and send it to people and have everybody hear that because it is something that I try to remind myself and people all the time. I'm like, no, you don't have to be like me. They're like, oh, I wish I could sell like you. I wish I could, do that. I said, no, be you. They don't want the version of you that's me. Like they want you, the best version of you. So, and do not feel nervous. Like, do not feel awkward about saying that or doing that. I'm like, that's cool. That's what makes you you. And the people that are for you are going to be for you. And the people that aren't. And you're going to realize that the community you create around you, like as an entrepreneur too, I felt is that I'm like, wow, now people that are around me are people that I like and like me. And it's real. It's not, the person that I had to perform and be when I was an assistant who I thought I had to be, I'm like, I wasn't around my people, But once you step into yourself, you're like, wow, life is so much happier and easier. Life's easier when you're not performing and being someone else, like you're being authentic. And it feels darn good.
Man, I couldn't have said it better than that. That's so true. It's like your vibe attracts your tribe. Is that it?
Ooh, your vibe attracts your tribe. You've said a lot of good things right now.
Got some one-liners. They're all from Pinterest. Just kidding. Like they're all quote
They're going to be on it now, though. They're going to be on it now. They're like
what I've consumed.
Yes.
Man, this is my favorite thing to talk about because I just think the personal evolution that you experience when you become an entrepreneur, it's unlike anything else. And I'm sure you can experience this in any kind of walk of life. But for me, just from what I can personally speak on and then meeting people like you where I'm like, oh, wow, this is so cool because we're both experiencing this together that it's just like when you're actually living your truth and you're doing what you were put on this earth to be doing. And the best thing about it is when you're blessing others through the journey, like there's nothing better. And that's what gets you through the hard.
Totally.
There's just when people ask us all the time, well, how do you get through the hard days? It's like, well, it's the 80% of the time that I thrive on, or, whatever the percentage is that's good. It's like, but man, that's awesome. That's some good stuff. Well, okay. So Beaut is taking over the world. What's next for you guys?
Yeah. So what is next? Well, we're super excited. We actually, we're working on some new products, and that's the thing with products, it takes so long. I never realized how many times I'd want to edit one product, like by changing the ingredient, by changing the packaging. And as you know, like I really am a perfectionist with it. And so we've got a ton of new products coming out that literally our customers, everything that I create, I feel is people asking me, hey, what do I do about this? this is something that I need. And 2 of the products that we're coming out with, I'm super excited. It's our lip glaze. So it is a like very, very nourishing, nutrient-based lip balm mask, but it's shiny like a gloss too. So you don't get the stickiness, but it's just so good. I cannot wait for everyone to try it. And then our long anticipated toothpaste. So it's a non-toxic, but it's a whitener. It's got this amazing ingredient called hydroxyapatite. We're super excited. And we're going to be launching those before the end of the year. So we're just, a couple things we just keep changing on like the package or anything, but I always promise my customers that, because they wait for it, they want it, they know, like they're asking me for updates, and we're like, it's worth the wait, I promise, it's worth the wait.
So if someone's listening and wants to start with one product, what would you say would be like a good, go on the website and start with this, or go to this boutique and start with this?
Yeah. So I always tell customers like what we're known for, what a lot of people know us for is what I started with, teeth whitening. If you're not wanting to dive in and get the kit, the whole teeth whitening system, grab the brightening bubbles. It's our number 1 selling product. It's a whitening foam booster that you put on top of your toothpaste, and it literally helps detoxify your mouth, brighten your teeth, remove staining, remove plaque buildup, bad breath. Like, it's incredible, and it's delicious and fun to use and super affordable, and people are in love with it.
And your teeth are amazing.
Thank you.
And I feel like I go through phases with teeth where I'm like, I don't care about my teeth. Okay, now I really care. And I'm in a phase of I'm really caring about my teeth, and like, I don't know. You should. It's the first thing people see.
It brightens up your whole
face,
aura.
Your whole aura, and it's so important. And so it's time, people. Okay, well, last question for you as we wrap, and I want to have you back on because I feel like we could talk forever.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things to talk with you, on and off air.
I feel like I know we need to go to drinks.
And our matching outfits. Oh my goodness.
I know, you guys were literally matching today. We walked in and we were like, we were both in
and
our
basically the
fall
shoes
feels.
are too, because they're neutral as well.
We're all neutral.
And I have those in black.
And you have the same shoes in black, probably from Amazon.
Yeah, and I want those jeans. So,
okay, well, I'm going to send you the link to the jeans because they're Vici. My whole outfit's Vici and Amazon.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so actually 2 questions.
Love it.
What are you most proud of? Could be personal or business. And then what is your definition of a Renaissance woman?
Ooh, love it. So definitely I would say what I'm most proud of is not giving up. Not giving up, because there were so many moments, like I literally almost, when I had that issue with those 60,000 units of product, I literally almost went bankrupt. That was all my money, 60,000 units. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago. A year before this, I was an assistant living paycheck to paycheck. So it wasn't like, when you hear 60,000 units, that was a big, big deal for me. So I feel like that was one of the first moments of like extreme adversity where I had to really say, Carol, instead of giving up, which maybe in my past I would have. And I think because of being an entrepreneur, it's shaped me into this person that doesn't give up and that is excited for life and isn't afraid of things anymore. Not afraid to try something, not afraid to fail. And it's one of the most fulfilling things ever, is that not being afraid and then being able to teach other people it. So it's like once you feel like you're mastering something, once you feel like okay, I know how to do this now. I'm not afraid of any bad thing that happens. It's actually a blessing. It's actually a new tool in my tool belt. And being able to teach other people that, whether they're an entrepreneur or not, like my team members, like, hey, if this is not the end all, don't get upset right now. It's all good, girl. Like, let's figure it out. And watching them be able to tackle things is so rewarding to me too. So not giving up and all learning through adversity and seeing it as a positive in the end and being able to teach people to look at the world that way too. That's been huge for me.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Hell yeah to all of it. Okay. Where can everyone find you?
Oh yes. Yeah. Find us, you guys. We're on all platforms.
All platforms. TikTok, Instagram.
Yes. TikTok, Instagram. We're at Beaut. So BEAUT period, or at Beaut Beauty Co. Beaut and then the full word beauty co, all one word. But we have an app too. We have a shopping app, and it's so fun. If you want to watch me and Erica tell you all about our favorite products, and half the time we're in our pajamas, then download our app on the App Store, Apple and Android.
So good. Okay, Carol, thank you so much for coming on our
Thank you
show.
so
You're
much for having
amazing.
me.
And you guys may or may not see Carol coming up soon in some Renaissance conferences. We'll see.
Oh,
We're
yay,
chatting soon.
yay.
Okay, bye.